Dear students, today let us study about distance, displacement, uniform and non-uniform motion. Now, first we will talk about two physical quantities which will actually tells us about the change in position with the time. That is path length and displacement. These physical quantities tells us about change in position with respect to time. As we know, since motion is nothing but change in position with respect to time, so these two physical quantities plays an important role, that is path length and displacement. Let us see what is path length and what is displacement. Here path length is also called as distance traveled. Path length is also called as distance traveled. So what is distance traveled? Distance traveled means it is the total distance an object travels from initial position to the final position. Okay, from initial position to the final position, whatever the path is traveled by the object, that if we do add up, then we are going to get the distance traveled. Here it is not depending on the direction, so it is a scalar quantity. It is only depending on the magnitude. Okay, next, displacement. What is displacement? Displacement means it is the shortest distance between initial position to final position of the object. Here initial position means starting point of the journey and final position means end point of the journey of an object. Okay, so here displacement, where it is depending on particular direction and also where it is depending on magnitude, therefore displacement is a vector quantity. So displacement is a vector quantity where it depends on direction as well as magnitude. Okay, so now to understand this distance traveled and displacement, let us consider an example here. So here you in the picture you can see the initial position of the boy which is at home. So I'll consider that initial position as A. You can see here the initial position as A. He moves to temple in this path, and at that point where he reaches the temple, I'll consider it as B. Later on he moves to school and he reaches school, and that point I'll consider it as C. So this is the path traveled by him. So what is path length then here in this case? So path length is equal to path length means it is the total distance traveled by the person. So that is AB plus BC is the path length, total distance traveled. Next, what is displacement? Displacement means it is the shortest distance between initial position to final position. So initial position was this, near the home, starting position, that is initial position. Final position is at C. You can see the final position here. So in between this initial position and final position, shortest distance. So if I consider a shortest distance, that is AC is the shortest distance. Therefore displacement is equal to AC. So shortest distance between initial position to final position is displacement. Okay, so path length is equal to AB plus BC, displacement is equal to AC. So I hope you all understood about distance traveled and displacement. Distance traveled, total path traveled by the object. Displacement means it is the shortest distance between initial position to the final position of the object. Next, let us see an example showing that path length is equal to displacement when path length becomes equal to displacement. So to understand this, let us consider an example. Here I have considered a boy who is having initial position near his home. So I'll consider that initial position as A. He moves towards the temple and he reaches temple, that point I'll consider it as B. So you can see the direction here. So he is moving in a straight path. So he travels a distance AB, right? So here path length and displacement, if we consider, so what happens to path length? So a boy is traveling along a straight line, that is AB. He reaches to the final position, that is, therefore AB is the path length, total distance traveled by the boy. So initial position is near home and the final position is the temple. Therefore, displacement is the shortest distance between initial to final position, that is also AB. In this case, where both path length and displacement both are equal. Okay, so path length and displacement are equal when the object is traveling along a straight line path. Okay, so here in this case path length becomes equal to displacement. So path length is equal to AB, displacement is equal to AB. Next, let us see an example where path length is not equal to 0 but displacement is equal to 0. Okay, always remember path length is not becoming 0. When the object is in motion, that means there is certain distance traveled. So always the distance traveled or path length will not become 0. But displacement becomes 0. So let us see that example when displacement is going to be 0. So in this case, I have considered an example, a boy starting from his home. Let us consider that point as A. He moves along towards the temple along a straight line path and he reaches B. And later on, he moves back to home again. Again he reaches to the point A. That means what happens to path length here? Path length, that is, first he travels from A to B. Later again he moves back, that is B to A. That means the distance is BA or AB only. So it is equal to 2 times AB. I can write it as 2 times of AB because he moves to temple and comes back to his home. That means 2 times AB is the distance traveled. Total distance traveled by the object is 2AB. What happens to displacement? So initially he started at home. And later, what is the final position of that boy after his journey? Final position is also at home, that is at the point A. So initial position and final position coincides. That means displacement becomes 0. Displacement is equal to 0 in this case. Yes, you all understood. When displacement becomes 0, displacement is equal to 0 when initial position and final position of the object coincides. Okay, when initial position and final position of the object coincides, that time displacement of an object becomes 0. But always path length is not going to be 0. Okay, next let us see distance traveled. During motion of the object, the value of distance can never be 0 or negative. So, never. Okay, the value of distance is not equal to 0 or it is not negative also. Because when there is a motion, there is a certain distance traveled. It cannot be 0. If it is at rest position, then we can say there is no motion, right? So, when there is a motion, distance traveled is not going to be 0 or negative. Remember this point. Next, displacement. Displacement does not depend on the actual path followed by the object. Displacement is not depending on the path followed, but distance traveled is depending on path followed. Next, when final position coincides with the initial position, what happens to displacement? It becomes 0, but distance traveled is not 0. Okay. So, here displacement is the shortest distance between initial position to final position. So, when both coincides, final position and initial position coincides, displacement becomes 0. Next, the displacement can be positive, 0 or also negative. Okay, displacement can be positive, it can be 0 or negative. Already I have seen in the example when displacement is equal to path length and when displacement becomes 0, you have seen, right? So, next let us study. Yes, before that, let us consider an example for displacement and distance traveled, which is given in your textbook. So, if a body starts moving in a straight line from origin O, you can see in the picture here, from origin O and moves through C and B, you can see here, a body starts from O and moves through C and B and reaches A, and then moves back and reaches C through B. That means an object from O goes to A and comes back in the same position and reaches C. So what is the path length? Path length means total distance traveled. So from O to A, what is the distance? 60 kilometer. And again it is coming back to C. That means, so how much it is? 10, 20, 30, 35. So what happens to path length? That is distance traveled is equal to 60 plus 35. Yeah. Therefore, distance traveled is equal to 60 plus 35, which is equal to 95 kilometer. So, distance traveled is 60 plus 35, which is equal to 95 kilometer. Next, what happens to displacement? Displacement means shortest distance between initial and final position. So, here in this case, initial position was O. So, final position was at C. The person is at C. Object is at C. So, in between initial and final position, what is the distance? That is from 0 to 25. So, the displacement is equal to 25 kilometer. Hope you all understood about distance traveled and displacement clearly. Distance traveled, total distance traveled by the object, and displacement, it is the shortest distance between initial position to the final position of an object. So, remember these points. Both distance and displacement are measured by a unit, meter or centimeter or kilometer. Okay. Between two given position, distance traveled can never be less than the displacement. It may be equal to displacement. Distance traveled may be equal to displacement, but all distance traveled is not less than displacement. Okay, remember, distance traveled is always greater or equal to displacement. Next, along a straight line motion, distance traveled is equal to magnitude of displacement. When the body is along a straight line motion, distance traveled becomes equal to displacement, magnitude of displacement. Yes, you can solve this in your classwork. So there are some questions which is depending on distance traveled and displacement. Just go through it and answer this question in your notebook. So you can see a particle is moving in a circle of diameter 200 meter. Fill in the blanks. Here I have given, you have to calculate the displacement and what is distance traveled. As you all have seen in the example, similarly you have to do. Here it is, diameter is given. You have to just see the circumference, that is 2 pi r. You have to calculate it, calculate the radius, later substitute and you have to calculate. Next, second, a ball thrown vertically upwards reaches a maximum height h, it then returns to ground. Calculate the distance traveled and displacement. Third one, vector quantities need both a magnitude and a dash. How far, and fourth one, how far an object has moved in comparison to where it began is called dash. Fifth one, a car drives 84 meters in forward direction. Its displacement and distance would be the same, true or false. So just try to answer these questions in your classwork. Next, let us move on to uniform motion and non-uniform motion. First, let us see what is uniform motion. Yes, uniform motion means a body is said to be in uniform motion if it covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. Yes, uniform means something which happens regularly or periodically. Let us take an object which moves 1 kilometer in 1 hour. Again in next 1 hour it moves another 1 kilometer. Again in next hour it moves another 1 kilometer. So that means in every equal intervals of time, that is in every 1 hour, it covers a distance of 1 kilometer. So we say that the object is in uniform motion. For example, a car moving on a straight road. So let us take an example here. You can see, and also the example of a movement of hands of a watch. There also it is in uniform motion because it is moving periodically. Okay. So example you can see in the picture here. Let us consider a car which is moving. Here the yellow car travels 50 meter in each second. That is, it is in uniform motion. For the first second you can see it has traveled 50 meter. Next second, again 1 second it has traveled 50 meter. In the next second it has traveled again 50 meter. Therefore, for the first second it is at 50, second it is at 100, third second it is at 150 meter, fourth second it is 200 meter. That means there is an increase of 50 meter each. There is an increase of 50 meter. Okay. So therefore you can see in the table time which is in second, displacement it is in meter. So time 1 second 50 meter, second 100 meter, third second 150 meter, fourth second 200 meter. That means the increase in distance which has taken periodically. Okay. So where object has traveled equal distances in equal intervals of time. So this kind of motion of a car, we can say it is in uniform motion. Now let us study about non-uniform motion. So what is non-uniform motion? When an object travels unequal distance in equal intervals of time, then we say that the motion of the object is said to be non-uniform. Once again, a body is said to be non-uniform if it covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. For example, if a car is traveling, here you can see in the example picture where I have considered a red car which is moving. For the first second it has traveled 50 meter. For the second it has traveled 100 meter. For the third second it has traveled 150 meter. For the fourth second it has traveled 50 meter. That means unequal distances are covered by the car in equal intervals of time. So unequal distances covered in equal intervals of time. Hence this car is in non-uniform motion. This kind of motion we can see where there is a crowded place or in heavy traffic. This kind of uniform motion, non-uniform motion can be seen. Okay. So hence it is called as non-uniform motion because it is not traveling equal distances. Its motion where it is non-uniform, unequal distances is traveled in equal intervals of time. So this kind of motion is called as non-uniform. Okay, car is said to be in non-uniform motion. Hope you all understood about uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Uniform motion means a body is said to be in uniform motion if it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Non-uniform motion means if a body is said to be non-uniform if it covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Yes, you'll have some work to do. You'll have to read page number 99 and 100 of NCERT textbook. View this PPT clearly and record the notes in your physics notes. Solve test your knowledge which I have given in your physics notes, and solve NCERT in-text questions given on page number 100 in your notes. Try to solve this in-text questions. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.